The Shearwater Perdix has long been one of those dive computers that other dive computers are compared against. It's rugged, it's easy to read, and trusted by everyone from recreational divers to seasoned technical divers. Now the Perdix 3 is here, promising to build on that reputation. But what's actually new? How different is it from the previous generation? And most importantly, is it worth upgrading? Hi all of you awesome scuba divers out there, welcome to the Scuba Diver Magazine channel, your favourite place for the latest scuba diving news and gear reviews. Yes, Shearwater has released a third generation of the Perdix, a full-size colour screen dive computer with the familiar rugged design and user-changeable AA battery. But first, let's see how it arrives and what comes with it. This is how it arrives in a very familiar Shearwater case. The sleeve on the outside, Perdix 3, it actually has instructions on the inside of that sleeve, so it's a very efficient use of space. The EVA case, I've seen a few of these in my time. On the top side, we have a little zippered mesh section. This has a small package with the quality checklist to make sure that someone's gone through, made sure and ticked everything off. Inside here we have a little baggie. You've got a battery case opening tool. Is just if you don't have any loose change on you, something to open up the battery cover. You also have a little carabiner which you can attach onto the case. It's got a little D-ring at the back if you want. A pair of like watch strap silicone strap retainers, a pair of O-rings for the battery case, and a digital manual QR barcode to scan. It's got a few like essential things and like a get start guide. A lot of it's digital. There's just a small piece of paper to save the environment. You get dive computer instructions for use, so a really small bit of bedtime reading in a few different languages if you feel like reading it. Yeah, the digital version is much easier in my view. The computer itself, with a little screen protector that you take off before the dive, obviously. We'll take a closer look at that in a second. A pair of the elastomer straps with buckles. Some bungee, I'll measure that. That feels like sort of 4mm bungee. And recommended batteries, which ones to use, AA batteries, but it works best with 1.5 volt lithium batteries. A pair of Shearwater stickers so you can represent, and then you can reuse that case for whatever you would like. But yeah, let's take a closer look at the computer itself. On the outside, it's still very much Perdix shaped. It has the same general style and dimensions as the original Perdix and the Perdix 2. It measures 81mm across, 71mm from top to bottom, and 38mm thick, although all of these curves kind of make it surprisingly awkward to measure. With the battery fitted, it weighs about 181 grams, which is a touch lighter than its predecessor and far from being a heavyweight. The front has a toughened aluminosilicate glass window, which improves scratch resistance compared to regular glass. Underneath the pre-installed screen protector, which is like sacrificial, that you can just about see around the edges. If that protector gets scratched, you can peel that one off and then replace it, and hopefully the mark wasn't deep enough to reach the glass itself. But yeah, the glass it's a bit tougher than your regular glass. Around that is a precision machined titanium bezel, raised ever so slightly above the screen to give it some extra protection against bumps and scrapes. The main body looks and feels much like glass fiber reinforced nylon casing used on previous versions. It has the same like wraparound shape and several mounting options built into it. There's a pair of parallel 19mm slots for the fabric straps, a 5mm hole on each corner if you prefer a bungee lifestyle. That also means the Perdix 2 straps, screen protectors, protective cases are all going to fit the Perdix 3, which is useful if you already own a Gen 1 or a Gen 2 and you have like spares lying around. They should work with this. The controls on either side are titanium piezoelectric buttons. There's no moving parts to wear out or leak. They work through like thick gloves. They're going to register. The trade-off is that you don't get much physical feedback when you press them. There's no like click or anything, which becomes relevant when we look at the menu system. The bulky section at the back is the battery compartment, which takes a single AA battery. Shearwater recommends a 1.5 volt non-rechargeable lithium battery, such as the Energizer Ultimate Lithium, which is supplied with the computer. That's going to get good results. That battery is rated for up to 60 hours of burn time, although the exact figure depends, of course, on display brightness, if you're using things like wireless air integration and other features that you're using. But one important detail is that the vibration alert only works with compatible 1.5 volt non-rechargeable lithium and the higher 3.7 volt rechargeable lithium batteries. Whichever type you use, check that the battery settings matches it. As soon as you switch it on, it will just ask you to confirm that. Shearwater also recommends removing alkali batteries when the computer is stored because of the risk of leakage. The display is the most obvious upgrade over the previous versions. It's an ultra bright, full color 2.4 inch or 6.1 centimeter AMOLED screen with a resolution of 450 by 600 pixels. When you compare it to the Perdix 2, the screen is 19% larger and it has 4 times the resolution. The black background is properly black compared to the previous generations. Text and graphics looks much cleaner, and the extra detail just makes a noticeable difference when you're placing lots of information all on one screen. It also uses adaptive brightness. It can brighten for the surface and then dim when you enter a darker environment, so you're not dazzled whenever you drop into a shipwreck or you swim into a cave system. As with any bright AMOLED display, there's a balance between brightness and battery life, but it's the single biggest visual improvement over the Perdix 2. You have 14 color choices for the display, allowing you to color code information and just build a layout that makes sense to you. Inside, there are 7 dive modes. There's air, which gives you straightforward display for standard air dives. You've got nitrox for diving a single enriched air mix, while 3 gas nitrox lets you configure and switch between up to 3 nitrox mixes. OC Tech unlocks multi-gas trimix diving, full decompression information, and the more like data-heavy technical layout. CCBO is designed as a standalone backup for closed-circuit rebreather divers using fixed PPO2 set points and bailout gases. It's worth stressing that the Perdix 3 doesn't connect directly to rebreather oxygen sensors or a controller. It's a standalone unit. If you need a hardwire Fisher or dive can connection, you'll need to look at the appropriate Petrol 3 instead. Gauge mode turns off the decompression calculations and works just as a basic bottom timer with a stopwatch and dive logging. Freediving mode is unusual and of course welcome to see on a large technical computer with configurable sample rates and depth and time alerts. Finally, a velo mode is available with a separate unlock code. It's not available like with the base unit. You actually have to get an unlock code from Shearwater for divers who are using the 𝐸Velo diving system. Decompression is handled by the well-established 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐜𝐫𝐷𝐸 16C algorithm with adjustable gradient factors, so you can do whatever you like, as long as you stay safe, obviously. There are built-in no decompression and decompression planners, full trimix and closed-circuit rebreather support, and all the information an advanced diver is likely to ever need. One interesting addition to this one is the surface gradient factor +5. So this projects what your surface gradient factor would be if you remained at your current depth for another 5 minutes. It isn't a magic measurement of your personal decompression sickness risk, but it can help show how quickly your decompression exposure is changing during the dive at the current depth, maybe suggesting that you shallow up a little bit earlier. The Perdix 3 is depth rated to 260 meters or 850 feet and stores approximately 1,000 hours of detailed dive logs. The Perdix 3 can monitor up to 4 wireless pressure transmitters simultaneously. It works with Shearwater Swift transmitters and compatible legacy transmitters, including older Shearwater MA8H units. I paired this one with an Aqualung transmitter, for example, the pelagic ones, so you're going to get some legacy connectivity there. It also supports the Shearwater Swift GPS transmitter that can add the entry and exit coordinates to your dive log, but of course GPS only works on the surface. It's not going to track your route underwater. Bluetooth connects the Perdix to the Dive Shearwater app for downloading dives, installing firmware, and customizing the computer in a few select ways. Shearwater says transfers are up to 6 times faster compared to the Perdix 2, and once you've paired it, it can reconnect automatically. It is much swifter. There are some less visible security upgrades as well, including encrypted firmware, more secure Bluetooth pairing, and an optional pin to protect across your logs. The user interface has improved over previous versions because it now shows the previous and next menu items with a 2-button user interface. You often have to cycle through the options rather than simply moving backwards and forwards. So seeing what's coming next makes it harder to click past something that you wanted because you can see what's coming up next. There are 3 basic dive screen layouts. You've got Big, Standard, and Tech. Big uses the largest type for maximum readability. Standard gives you a balanced recreational display, and Tech fits just more information onto the main screen. Importantly, you can now use any of those layouts in any dive mode instead of having the layout dictated by the mode. If you like big layout, you can have big layout throughout. If you prefer Tech, you can have Tech throughout. The big layout could be one of the most useful additions for divers who struggle with smaller text. At the other end of the scale, you can place up to 11 pieces of information on the screen if you really want a data-heavy layout. The digital compass is very responsive and tilt compensated. You can mark a bearing and it will show you the reciprocal heading, as well as, of course, helping you steer back towards your chosen course. The Perdix has always been very strong on customization. You can choose what information appears where it sits on the screen, and which colors are used. The Perdix 3 also lets you save 3 complete setting sets, they call it. These aren't just different screen layouts, they can store complete configurations for different kinds of diving. So if you regularly switch between shallow regular dives or like deeper technical dives, side mount and rebreather diving, and you don't want to like rebuild the computer every single time you pick up your twin set, you can prepare 3 individual sets and then just switch between them much more quickly. The vibration alerts are very firm enough to feel through a suit, obviously, without the computer constantly beeping at you and everyone around you in the dive site. There are no audible alarms, so warnings are delivered through vibration and, of course, clear changes on the screen. With a price tag of around 1,200 British pounds, just shy of 1,300 US dollars or 1,400 euros, the Perdix 3 sits near the top of the dive computer market. It is expensive compared to a lot of others, but it's also designed to cover everything from a diver's very early nitrox dives through to multi-gas trimix and closed-circuit rebreather diving. What I didn't like, the user interface is still a little clunky. The menu preview does help, but pair 2-button navigation with the piezo controls that provide very little physical feedback as to whether it's actually registered, and there's a bit of lag, you can still find yourself doing quite a lot of cycling. The Dive Shearwater app as well has improved and now handles pairing, automatic log downloads, updates, but compared with some competitor apps, it can still feel fairly just Spartan and functional. I'd like to see more of the clever like setup and analysis tools handled on the phone to like change the settings rather than on the computer itself. The user changeable AA battery is excellent for travel and long expeditions. And for many recreational divers, this is simply more computer than they need. If you don't expect to use trimix, closed circuit rebreather support, multiple gas transmitters, or this kind of level of customization, something like the Peregrine TX may give you the functions that you'll actually use for considerably less money. You can really see the improvement in the screen, especially when you hold it up to a previous generation, and the new features such as the big layout. The setting sets is a big one for me. Surface gradient factor +5 and menu previews, they are worthwhile upgrades. The Perdix really does remain a powerhouse, primarily aimed at advanced divers, but approachable enough for someone earlier in their diving career who genuinely expects to progress. If you're buying your first high-end dive computer and you want something that can grow from recreational air and nitrox all the way through to technical or rebreather diving, the Perdix 3 could easily be your one and only computer. If you already own a Perdix 2, however, the decision is less clear-cut. The main reasons to upgrade are the substantially better display, the more flexible layouts and the setting sets. Faster Bluetooth, I suppose, is important for some, and the new interface features are quite nice. If those don't really matter to you, your Perdix 2 remains an extremely capable computer. To find out more, and where to locate your nearest Shearwater dealer, click on the link up here in the corner of the screen, and of course check out the magazine as well, where we'll put the Perdix 3 through some proper in-water testing, and of course subscribe to the channel here on YouTube for more. Thank you for watching, everybody, and of course, safe diving.